What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Link Evolution video. DDD has been requested and I've had to do its floating around for a bit, so I've got to get this video out already. This is one of the coolest and craziest decks, able to use all forms of extra deck summoning officially now. This deck was really fun to do before the update, and it still is now, as no matter what, it is throwing out all types of monsters for crazy boards. Some things have changed from my old build and some things have not. Onto the deck, we kept a lot of the staple 3-ofs as we should have. The Slimes, Ragnarok, Lamia, Copernicus, and Kepler are still important in this deck as they enable a lot of our plays. Kepler searches contracts, the Slimes fusion summon, Copernicus mills from the deck, and Ragnarok revives all of your essential pieces. Some of the new cards we are running in the deck compared to my old build are Chaos King Apocalypse and DD Ghost. Now with Abyss King Gilgamesh, the Link monster, we can easily set anything we want in the pendulum skills, so summoning Chaos King is a cool move to get another monster material out after some plays. DD Ghost, another tuner, is a good target for Halka-Fibrax and helps set up our graveyard even better at the same time. One is ideal, but I threw in the second kinda randomly, but I'll go over other options. All of our Link monsters are brand new with the update. Halka-Fibrax needs no introduction, but he is amazing for getting more tuners out of our deck who would thrive in the graveyard. Cross Sheep is amazing for this deck as well to get that additional revive, as well as providing Borrelord with material to grab. Abyss King Gilgamesh really helped this deck out, being able to set skills from the deck, but do keep in mind that he does restrict you to Fiend summons for the rest of the turn. With the Master Rule Vision, the positions of these Link monsters aren't too important, minus Cross Sheep, so don't hesitate to summon them in the main monster zone. We are trying out a new Synchro monster, Satellite Warrior, to summon ideally off Formula Synchro with Halka-Fibrax. This bad boy can pop cards on the field depending on Synchro monsters in the graveyard, which will always be 2 at the minimum, but ideally you'd get 3 to 4 pops. The deck did receive some minor banlist hits, mainly on Into the Void and Allure of Darkness, but it could have been worse. I should have tried Pot of Desires and Wear Off Doubt to make up for those losses, but I never got around to trying it out. If you can get rolling with this deck, it's pretty scary to face, so you want to try to go first all the time, especially when using Ragnarok since he cuts your battle damage in half. Getting the wrong card Disruptor could effectively ruin your turn too, so if you don't have Call by the Grave, or you're afraid of infinite impermanence, try to bait those negations out with weaker searches as much as you can. For the replay, this is an AI duel only because showcasing these combos are important, and most of the time on the ladder my opponent scoops once they see what I'm going for. This is the best hand we can get going first, minus Call by the Grave, so if you're presented with a search like I am, always go for the missing piece. Starting things off, we are going to fusion summon into Genghis right off the bat and get that Necro Slime into the graveyard for later. Genghis can revive a DD monster when another DD monster is special summoned, as can Alexander, which will come up later. These revival effects are important to pay attention to as they're going to help us achieve the ultimate board. Since we don't have a better normal summon, we can use it on Lamia here and set Ragnarok in the skill zone. Ragnarok is another monster who can revive any DDD monster when another is summoned to the field, but this time at the cost of 1000 life points and dealing half battle damage for the turn. It's important to note that the weaker monsters are just DD, while the stronger monsters are DDD. DD monsters are considered DDD monsters, but triple D monsters are not considered double D monsters. I hope that was less confusion for you guys than it was for me. Now that Alexander is out, Ragnarok can use his effect to bring Genghis back, which in turn will set off Alexander's effect. Here's when we start our Lamia revival strings, as we can now get to synchro summoning multiple times. Since we didn't use Genghis's revive effect, we can do it to get an extra link material back from the graveyard. With all of our field revives being exhausted, we can go into Cross Sheep to get another one soon enough. Using Lamia correctly here is important as we don't want to use her self-revive effect until the end. Cross Sheep's revival effect triggers when a fusion monster is summoned to its marker, so we are going to go into another level 7 to revive Genghis. I do run Odd Eye's Meteor Burst for this combo, but I've seen some decks are cutting it, as summoning Ragnarok from the scale is pretty much the only thing you're going to do here. Ragnarok's monster effect triggers when he is special summoned himself, so once again he can revive a monster from the graveyard. Meteor Burst Dragon's second purpose is to provide a material to go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, since he is useless after his effect is over. With Ragnarok hit in the field, we can revive Genghis and trigger Sheep's effect to revive Lamia again. From here, things can branch out in a few ways, and I do make a crucial mistake that somewhat gives us a weaker board than we could have obtained. The correct play here would have been to go into DD Ghost with Halka Fibrax, as it could have gotten us Borreload with Genghis, and then we could have revived Lamia by getting rid of our contract to go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon with Meteor Burst. It would have also gotten us another Lamia in the grave for any following turns, since we would have banished the first. Sadly, we do go into Borreload with the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, which doesn't fulfill its purpose as a Crystal Wing material, so we have no choice but to just stick with this play. No matter what, we're going to fusion summon with the graveyard and make Flame High King Genghis, which is a level 8 fusion monster. Its only purpose is to become a level 8 material for an Xyz summon. If you're going second and attacking, he can negate a spell or trap only on your turn, but since we're going first, he's pretty useless, so we're just going to overlay into Hope Harbinger. Sadly, this is our ending board despite what we could have had instead, but this is still pretty decent all things considered. We have an effect negation by Borreload, a spell negate by Hope Harbinger, and another spell or trap negate with Siegfried, who will hit the field shortly thanks to Halka Fibrax going into Formula Synchron. Now keep in mind this is an AI duel, so we're probably not going to get the best opposition we can from actual duelists. We're still going to go through the negates though as we would in an actual duel just to show things off. We're definitely going to negate the ban card as we don't like cheaters in the game. With one negate down, now is a good time to go into Formula followed by Siegfried to get that additional spell or trap card negate. We also get to draw one card off Formula Summon as well. I did run Psyframe Lord Omega at this point, which is always a good option in decks like these, but it lost its slot to Satellite Warrior, which would have been nice to summon after a Siegfried negate in this position. Aside from my mistake, this is pretty much how you want most duels to go. I had a lot of opponents immediately scoop mid combos, so getting replays was a fun activity for this deck. Going second, things might not go this smooth as you have potential disruption to worry about, but there are still some good options to utilize that I'll show off in the video, such as Kali Yuga, Ragnarok's second monster effect, and even using pendulum summons in tight spots. At this point, even our AI opponent is struggling to figure out how to out this board, so I'll wrap up things on my end. Enjoy the rest of the video and make sure to subscribe on YouTube and on Twitch. Also, please like the video and comment with what you guys think. Shadows will definitely be the next video as it hit a small snag in editing, so stay tuned for that next time on the channel.